The sun had barely risen over the rugged mountains of northern Ethiopia when a storm began to gather, not one of wind or rain, but of war. It was March 1st, 1896, and the hills of Adwa were about to witness a battle that would echo through the heart of Africa and beyond. But to understand that day, we must go back to a time when European empires were carving up the African continent like slices of bread. The scramble for Africa, they called it. One by one, kingdoms fell, but there, nestled in the highlands, stood a defiant empire, Ethiopia. At the center of it all was Menelik II, Emperor of Ethiopia. He was no ordinary ruler. Wise, shrewd, and deeply proud of his nation's heritage, Menelik had watched European powers with sharp eye. And when Italy approached him with a treaty in 1889, he was cautious but willing to negotiate. The Treaty of Wachel was signed, but would soon become the spark that lit the flames of war. The treaty existed in two languages, one in Italian and one in Amharic, but the meanings were not the same. In the Italian version, Menelik had supposedly agreed to make Ethiopia a protectorate of Italy. In the Amharic version, Ethiopia simply agreed to open diplomatic relations. When Menelik discovered the deception, he was outraged. He tore up the treaty. Italy, believing it could force submission, began preparing for war. They underestimated him. Menelik knew what was coming, and he would not face it alone. Across the land, he sent out messengers on horseback, calling upon his people. The response was overwhelming. Thousands of warriors answered the call, from the Shoa, from Tigray, from Oromo lands, and beyond. Farmers laid down their tools. Monks carried crosses in one hand and spears in the other. Mothers sent their sons. Wives rode beside their husbands. Even Empress Tetu, Menelik's wife, took up arms and led troops of her own. Together, they marched north. The Italians, led by General Baratieri, believed that their rifles, cannons, and European training would guarantee victory. They had around 17,000 troops, disciplined and confident, but they had never faced an army like this before. By the end of February 1896, the two forces stood face to face near the mountains of Adwa. Menelik had over 100,000 warriors under his command, and they weren't just strong in numbers. They were united in purpose. On the night of February 29th, under pressure from Rome to act, General Baratieri made a fatal decision. He ordered his troops to advance through the rocky terrain under cover of darkness, hoping to catch the Ethiopians off guard. But the plan collapsed. The rugged landscape disoriented the Italian forces. Units became separated. Communication broke down.